graduating with tears in his eyes, and kind of a cool deal to see. I mean, makes you wonder, how does the kid do it? How does Greg get that job done every year? And it looked like the odds were against him in those closing laps. He says, hey, I got one more shot at this. I'm going to take advantage, and he pulled it off. So that'll be a big race at Sunset this year, like it always is. That's one that will pack the house and give the stands,
of course,
the fans in the stands a good show.
He has a lot of, he does it a lot, because of his dad. He has, like you said, it's very emotional, but he does it, he drives definitely with his heart. He doesn't drive just because or whatever. He, drives with his heart, about it, and that's the cool thing too. We're in the process right now. We actually have a bunch of phone calls coming in. We're gonna get on the phone here in a minute. Josh Rogers, actually up there in Washington. We're gonna talk a little bit of dwarf car racing, and actually he's here right now. And on the phone right now is Josh Rogers. He is the Northwest dwarf car driver. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. How about you, man?
Oh, not too bad. We came down here to Willamette. We kind of got rained out, and we're talking a little bit about Sunset next week. We're going to run the Northwest Dwarfs up there. Saw you out at our practice at Sunset here a couple weeks ago. Car looked fantastic. How did you like it?
Yeah, car felt great. Track was a little rough.
Yeah, but hey, you can drive anything, right?
Sure.
So you have a couple cars in your stable, and are you guys ready for this weekend?
Well, we're not going to run this weekend. We're going to run on the 7th.
You are going to run on the 7th. Okay, well, that's a good thing, too. From the first practice you went out there to the second practice that next following week, did you guys do any major changes or anything to that car?
No, I didn't even touch it. I waxed it. That was it.
Is that the silk stream that gets you through the air? Is that what gave you the 0.3 faster?
Yeah, that's those cheater parts.
That is awesome. So how was your off season and stuff, man? I mean, I know you guys did a bunch of work and everything, and we talked, prior to the off season and prior to the season, starting in 2016. What are your main goals for this year?
I want to win some mains, a couple mains here and there. Just want to get some more seat time in it.
So what does your schedule look like? Are you going to be running with the Northwest Dwarf cars, or what sanction body are you going to run with this year?
I'm going to run with PHRA a little bit, and then St. Helens and Sunset Speedway.
Well, that's good. It'll be extreme. It'll be really, really glad to see you out there, man. I mean, it was awesome to see you out there during the practice. At Sunset Speedway, the car looked fantastic. Looked very, very, very fast. Ain't afraid to drive it in deep and run that cushion with that car. But how are your other two cars in your stable?
They're good. You got one rookie driver, another driver. He had about half a season on it, but the rookie one, he's the wild man.
Have you had a talking to him about slowing down a little bit?
Well, I had a talk with him about speeding it up a little bit.
Never can't go too fast, right?
That's right.
That's awesome. With having three cars and having a rookie, in your stable, what are the, because you're kind of a veteran and stuff. You've been doing this for a little bit, a week or so. What are some of the things that you can tell a rookie when he goes out there for his first race and say, hey, look, just kind of calm down, race your own race? What do you tell a rookie?
Well, I tell him just to kind of just go with the flow of things, and then when everybody kind of spreads out, hammer on that right foot pedal. Duck in behind somebody and go with it.
Yeah, what's that famous word that we talked about that you said when we did our interview?
Ass, gas, and hauling ass.
There it is. That's at Josh Rogers. That's at number 18. Well, I don't know if I should call you a Northwest Dwarf driver, or a PHRA driver, or, what shall I be titling you this year?
Oh, hell, I don't care. Just don't call me late for dinner.
We know you like your Krispy Kremes. Well, Josh, man, it's awesome to talk to you, man. Thank you so much for calling in. We can't thank you enough for being part of the Moxie group.
Talk racing?
And I mean, this is something that
let's talk about your
this is something that we love to see you guys out there, and can't wait to see you guys when you come to Sunset.
Yeah, we'll be there. We'll tear some stuff up, I'm sure.
Awesome, man. We'll see you in a couple weeks when you come out there on the 7th, and from there, man, you guys have a good evening.
You too, anytime.
Thanks, brother. Have a good night.
You too.
Josh, we're being joined on the Moxie line, 503-991-2838. Second caller, Lightning himself, John Campos, calling in the show.
Hey!
John, I didn't get a race tonight. We didn't get to see you on the track in action, but the car, again, looked very fast. Let's kind of talk about your plans for the 2016 season, and let's definitely go back to last week and talk about what happened there at Willamette Speedway.
Well, I think last weekend, the fans spoke for themselves. I think they just saw one hell of a modified race, and and it's not just me. It was Colin. We raced each other hard, and we raced each other clean, and you got guys like Kevin Roberts that was sticking his nose up in there, and he was getting with it. Matthew Dreyer, he was on the ball, he was moving. It really could have been anybody's race, and unfortunately, a call was made and dropped Colin back a few spots, but that's racing. Stuff happens. We all move on from it, and I'm just glad the fans got a great night of racing in last weekend, and just looking to do pretty much what I did last year. I think I love racing at Willamette. I also love racing at Sunset Speedway in Banks. So I love the Grove. I'm a racer, man. I just love to race. So wherever I feel the action's going to be, or the best competition that night, or maybe who's putting up the best purse. I'm on the road and I'm traveling and I'm going.
So we watched you out in qualifying, and you ran 4 laps, and you're down in the 17s and everything, and then all of a sudden on that very, very last lap, once you passed Jeremy Means, that flagger on that last lap, you picked it up. You went from 6th of having that time all the way to 2nd. Were you kind of filling the car out to the very last lap, or did you just actually have a nice run?
No, I just pulled the bonehead move on coming on up on the first lap, and I kind of missed the line, and the car got super sideways, and I lost it in the infield. So, as a racer, as a driver, I'm just kind of cautious of that corner. So for those next couple laps, I really messed up getting in on that corner. So on that last lap, I was like, it's just time to sack her up, and I sacked it up pretty good. And Dustin, Katie, man, it's awesome to see him back out, and he's got a fast hot rod. So he's a buddy of mine. We've raced with each other, and I just can't wait to get out there and race these modified with him, and it's just going to be awesome.
Yeah, the IMCA modified class is going to be a very interesting class this year to see who does what with state points and the Northwest Modified Cup and whatever track you're running for points at, whether it's Willamette or Sunset. But, you made mention of a couple names in that last feature Saturday night with Matthew Dreyer, who started deep in the field and ran to 3rd place and the finish behind Colin. Now, you're kind of working with Dreyer Performance and that whole team based out of Albany and their stables. How much have they worked with you on the setup of your GRT? Because you're really, last year made the transition from late model to the modified class. Let's talk about what you're doing with Dreyer Performance and how that's helping your program.
Well, Dreyer Performance, I can't thank those guys enough down there. They just, it's kind of like a big racing family thing. It's just, I'm up here in Kaiser. A lot of those guys are down there in the Albany, Corvallis area and stuff, but they definitely, I can call them up anytime. I can get some feedback and bounce some stuff off them, or if I need something, parts or repairs or something, I can call them up and get something or get what I need. And it's just a really good family atmosphere to be a part of. As far as like setup wise and stuff like that, we're racers, man. Everybody runs their own setup. I just pretty much run a standard GRT setup. I just kind of modified a little bit, and that's what I got. And I'm sure Dustin's got his, and Justin. And there's a whole gang of us, but we all got our own setups and we all run our own things. And but if somebody needs something, we'll definitely help each other out. That's what it's all about.
Well, and you guys are all so close. in the pit area, you guys are pitting close together. You're trading notes. You're giving feedback to each other. Hey, this is what I saw. I'll try this. Make this change. And you guys work pretty close together. You don't see that a lot with competition being as tight as it is in that class. It's kind of a cool thing to see because the modified guys, it's a driver. That's you got a high horsepower car on those little tires, and you got to be a driver to get around. And last Saturday night, you were the man.
Yeah, I don't know if I was the man. We had the fast hot rod. I'd say that, but the competition. When I made the adjustment from the late models to the modifieds, it was like that's kind of like when everything was kind of blowing up there, and I was like, oh well, this ought to be pretty easy going, and I just stepped in there, and I was just amazed at the competition level that was there. And there's a lot of people who don't get to see the full effect of what's all out there. You got guys like Waggy, you got Williamson, you got like Braden Hand, and just Katie and Colin. You got a whole gaggle of competition out there that's just on their A game, and it's kind of hard to get them all bundled into one group to show up at the same track. But when we're touring around on that Speed Week deal I did last year, it was unbelievable at the competition level that's out there and the drivers that are out there. It's unbelievable. Just to run with them is an accomplishment in itself, and it's just a great time. And and you get some bigger name guys from back in North Dakota and kind of Midwest area. You get Peary comes out, and it's just a great deal. And not everybody here on local basis gets to see that because you just got your hot shoes that kind of go all over, and it's a really fun deal when everybody gets together and race like that.
Now, last year was your first year on that Speed Week tour. How much did you learn? Being in the modified, didn't have a lot of time in the modified when you got onto that series. That's a tough deal. Like you said, all the talent that you mentioned, that's a big, big deal. And are you making the commitment to run that series again this year?
Definitely. That was one of the reasons why I bought the modified. Well, the first reason was I didn't have to spend $10,000 to get a motor rebuild every year, but I still love rebuilding. Hands down, by far, if anybody could ever experience it, it's just a deal. Running the Speed Week last year, it was a great learning experience. We did pretty good, I thought, for our first year out, and doing that, we made most of the shows. We just had a couple of hitches and didn't get in on a couple of them, but for the most part, we made them, and we were pretty fast under the sunset and started on front row. Just stepped on our tail there a little bit and spun it out, and had to go back. You just learn a lot. You just learn. It's good to learn the group of guys that you're racing with. In the late models and racing with Rob and Trevor and all those guys, you just know them. You know what you can do. They're going to race you hard, but they're going to race you clean for the most part. You know who to watch out for, and who's a squirrel, who's not a squirrel. Maybe I can run on 3 wide on this guy, or maybe I need to back it off a lap. That's pretty much what you need to learn with any group you race with. But I'm just having modifieds and being able to go anywhere and everywhere I want.
John, I had the opportunity. It was a great opportunity, for you letting me come down last year for one of the last races of the season down to Coos Bay to be part of your group and be part of your crew. You're one of, the greatest guys to be around and everything. You talk about, the beginning of the season up there at Yakima, the first 2 races and stuff really didn't go your way much. And you posted on Facebook, tearing the body apart and kind of going, what the heck? Why, the first 2 races, why does this kind of happen? And then you go down to, the next race and it still wasn't your deal, but you came up to Lebanon and stuff. What was your intent when you came up to Lebanon? Were you kind of like, well, hey, we're kind of in a slump and didn't do so well first couple races of the season. That's kind of what we are. Or did you go out there and know that the car was fast and know that you had the opportunity to be a front runner, not only that, but to be able to win?
Well, let's back it up here a little bit. I wouldn't say that, and I wouldn't say those were bad runs. We finished third the first night. We just, unfortunately, on the second night, we got caught up in a little heat race incident, and they were rushing the show so fast that we just never had the chance to put the car back to where it needed to be. And so then, you're just kind of falling behind throughout the whole night. So you're going through the last chance qualifier, you're putting more time and stuff on your tires, you come in, you think you're going to have time to fix everything and get it going, and they're lining you back up for the show. So I knew we had a fast comp by that first night in Yakima. We finished third to Williamson and Colin, Initially, we held second most of the night. And then, you know, the accident happened and tore half the car apart. And, you know, I just like to race, so it's like, yeah, get the parts going, let's put it back together and go to the Grove for this, you know, let's go support that deal. Then we go down there, and it wasn't like we had a bad night. We took home the top 5.